Welcome back to the channel, guys. It has definitely been a minute since I have made video content. I've been doing plenty of streaming, but I'm well aware that a lot of you guys look forward to the videos, and you don't necessarily have that free time to sit and watch long streams where there's spaces where nothing's going down. So anyway, I'll start off by giving you the reason why there wasn't video content is race was going on. I feel so taxed and exhausted with race. I play a lot during the day, and it takes time to make videos, and you have to step aside from playing. So I just basically put it off, along with Sunday fun days sometimes, meaning it's kind of like a flip and a flip. Sometimes I might make a video, sometimes I might do Sunday fun days, and sometimes I just take off. Well, anyway, if you see my gems, we are extremely low in gems in compared to the 9K we had before race. Not all of those gems went to race, but I did spend 2,500 to 3,000 gems on this past race. I know a lot of people will think that that's insane, that the monster wasn't that good. First off, I like to say it has absolutely nothing to do with the monster. That monster could have been like a legend, and I think it might have still happened the same way. Mainly it just had to do with the wheels on the race bus were going super slow. Since there wasn't much drive or motivation amongst a whole team of 30 to compete and get that monster, it left a lot of laggy moments in the race where when I would finally log online to play, or I'd wake up and check what's going on in the race, it would literally be stuck on like 15 people hatch an egg for hours. And then when you basically log in to play for a couple of hours and you're staring at nodes that aren't flipping over, it makes you impatient. So there would come times where there would be like, say like a random joint effort of like where you got to breed 10 sea turtles, everybody. And I would breed like 9 of them or 8 of them or something. But the real gems wouldn't be in breeding the sea turtles for 800 points. It would be all those damn co-pigs that I would clear out at 7 gems each. Things like that. I did try to do more like ranking up legends and epics. I did a ton of them, basically burn up all of my extra cells. I basically spent up all my race prep. Now the reason why I did that is because last race, if you know, I bred all these Hyperias that you see. I felt like a burden on my team, meaning I did the bare minimum last race. Like, sure, I still spent my 1,000 gems. I did my, skips. But aside from that, I didn't really do anything, meaning there would be like every quest that came, I would sit out because I didn't even have a habitat space to put anybody. I didn't have like the ability to do anything. I sold my race prep. I had no monsters to rank up. I wasn't doing anything at all but the bare minimum. And I knew that now, since I had got the Hyperias out of my vault, I had plenty of room, that I wanted to help out. I wanted to basically, in my mind, give back to my team in the way that my team gave to me last race during the Vampira race, where Vampira was a great monster and my team carried me. So this race, I felt that I needed to step up if players were going to slack. I know it looked like a boring race, but meaning like you don't see a lot of action in my streams, but I mean, we definitely dropped a ton of gems in some parts of the race that normally I wouldn't do, but I was beginning to think we weren't going to get to 85 otherwise, and it kind of would defeat the point of why I was on the team if we weren't getting 85 laps. Now, to speak about the race monster, I do not think that the race monster is complete trash. I just think it's not a good monster. To me, it is a great bait monster, and it can be used to bait any node in the gauntlet once you have it ranked, because you're going to be putting all life runes on your bait monster, and the life shield is based off how high you get the monster's life. So if you can get the monster's life to say 700k, you now have a 1,000,000 life monster that can wear a shield that drains 300 stamina when you get hit if you go under half, or I mean under 75%. So you have to do calculations there and know how much damage you're taking on a node, but either way, the point is it can drain any node in the gauntlet, given the circumstances. So I'm not upset with getting the monster. I just want everybody to know that I didn't spend the gems for the monster. I spent the gems to make sure that my team was going to do well, because if some people aren't going to step up, other people have to. So now I feel like I'm back on level terms with my team. Like, they carried me last race and I made up for it this race. So I feel I feel fine in that area. So anyway, that brings me to what am I doing on my account now? All right, well, if you look up in the top left of my screen, I finally got a new avatar and I got a new frame. We had Aeroduels at the beginning of the race. Basically, the day before race, we had Aeroduels. And I told you guys in the preceding months before Aeroduels that I was going to prepare for the Aeroduels because it was a free ticket. They have the free ticket in there again, so I plan to do Aeroduels again. Now, I want to make sure that everybody is well aware of my opinion and my standpoint on Aeroduels. I do not like it. I wish this was not here. I wish that the only way you could get one of those was to buy it for gems or buy it for money. I don't want the free ones. The reasons why I don't want the free ones is I feel like you're going to give it to me, so I'm wasting it if I don't use it. And then if I am going to use it, I don't do anything half-ass unless it's my exact intention to do it half-ass. So basically, like, if I'm going to do the Aeroduels, I want to get my name on the list. I just want a top 100. I just want to show that, like, hey, look, that guy actually did Aeroduels. Yeah, why? Because I had a ticket. That's why I did Aeroduels. So last time I learned some things. They did sell the Aeroduels in the shop. And before I did Aeroduels, meaning before I spent any gems, guys, because I knew it was going to be expensive to move runes around, to craft runes for certain monsters, to mutate some runes that I was then going to rip apart the mutants because I needed the 10s, meaning I had to strip gauntlet monsters to be able to even move runes to the monsters that I wanted to use in the Aeroduels, and the rune discount to open up slots doesn't even come till race time, so like you have to spend 40 gems to open up a fully locked monster, and then you're maybe just testing it, so you're only going to run it for a couple of fights, then you're going to take the runes off, so you're talking about tons and tons of gems in that kind of sense. All right, so before I wanted to do any of that investment, I went and I bought a ticket for 50 gems. The reason why I went and bought the ticket for 50 gems, which, by the way, everything that I talk about that's Aeroduel related, you can go and check it out in the stream. The streams are very long, though, so I mean, I don't really know what to tell you on making a highlights video of that, which would be cool. We did, like, a lot of cool stuff went down in the Aeroduels. Like, I mean, we fought all kinds of names of players that are known in the game. But either way, so my point is, I bought the ticket and I found out that it goes up in price. Whereas if it did not go up in price, then that would tell me that it was a pay-to-play tournament, meaning there's no sense in giving it all you got because the guys ahead of you could just buy their wins, meaning they, like, even if they only won 1 out of 3 times, what if they bought 30 of them? What if they bought 40 of them? I don't know what kind of money they have. So if that was the case where they could buy endless amounts of those tickets, I wasn't going to spend a bunch of gems moving my runes and unlocking monsters. I was just basically going to play with what's the cheapest thing I could construct and roll with it for as long as we could go. So since they doubled in price, I was cool with it. I was basically like, all right, this way, if somebody's going to spend gems to beat us, it's going to cost them a good bit to keep up as long as we can do well. So I was completely content with moving my stuff and playing it out. And we did. I finished 4th in the Aeroduels. It would have been cool to get an avatar top 3, but honestly, like, I think 4th was pretty crazy for when I told you guys all along my only goal was just to get on the list. I had no idea we were going to get that high. Now people may say, well, that's not very high or whatever because you didn't finish top 3. It's whatever, guys. I'm just telling you that I would have been happy before the Aeroduels started. If you'd have asked me, like, what do you think about 80th place? I'd have been like, is it on the list? And you said, yeah. And I'd be like, I'm cool with it. I just want to finish on the list. It's the same goal I'm going to have last time. But I now know people are probably going to be watching and they're going to be curious, you know, like, was it just a fluke? Did he do good one time? Is he going to do good all the time? Like, how many gems are you spending on it is another thing. I am so gem broke that I will be doing tasks as soon as the double gem task shows up. Okay, so now you know what I was doing. Let's talk about what's going on in the game. Currently, I'm saving up food. I need to be ranking some monsters, and I need to be leveling up my relics. I still want to level, like, max my pump seeds so that it helps me in the gauntlet better. I don't really use it too much in PvP, but the new maze, that's what's going on currently right now. It's been happy hour in there for a long time. I need 7 more moves and we're finished the maze. People keep asking me, like, what do I think of this maze? It's not over yet, so I can't really give you my opinion. I don't know anything about this maze, man. But what I'll tell you so far is this is a cash grab from Social Point, meaning they are selling this monster. From what I can see, it looks like this monster is almost impossible to get, but super easy to get if you watch ads, meaning it's an ads monster, basically, is what we got going on here. You either buy this thing for cash or you buy it by watching ads. Like, there's just no way around it. So basically, no matter what, if you got this monster, Social Point made some money. So, like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because from one of my guess is I've always wondered why you can't get more from watching ads. Like an example, I always love when the relics come around. Like, so when MonsterWoods comes around, they let you watch it for 2 bronze chests. I always wondered, why is that not infinite? Why can I not just sit there and watch ads for like 6 hours and get like 1,000 chests? Like, what company tells you, no, you can't make us more money? Like, why do they put a limit on you making them money? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I started to think that they might have dilemmas at Social Point where they actually try to rely less on advertisement because they feel that it's dumbing down their content, meaning we're not even selling a game here, we're just selling ads. And that's not what we stand for. We want kids to play. We want somewhere for, like, we wouldn't name our company Social Point if we didn't care somewhat about social. So I think that maybe that's what they do, is that they try to resist how much advertisement they don't want to drown us in advertisement. Okay, well, the fact that this maze is drowning in advertisement makes me wonder if maybe Social Point's back is against the wall, to where they're kind of going against their morals, whereas they're basically about to flood the game with more ads. And then the reason behind that would be that players aren't buying anything, that they're not making enough revenue off cash. The game's dying, players are leaving, they're not dropping $1,000 upgrading their stuff. They're just basically saying, look, it's boring, it's the same stuff over and over again, I don't feel like doing it, I'm leaving. And then you just got the new players that are coming in, and then every time they ask somebody to, like, in the game, like, hey, should I buy this? Everyone's, no, this sucks, don't buy it. So it's making it harder to get money, and it's basically, I think, free to play and pass that's carrying the game. Meaning, like, the pass is basically the same thing as a membership subscription to the game. Meaning, if you are a pass buyer, you're basically buying it every single month, and you are like one person on a list that is a subscriber to the game that is paying a subscription monthly. And they're giving you imaginary pixels for it. And then aside from you, there's players like myself who are doing tasks or watching MonsterWoods or doing surveys, and they're making money that way. And that is what's carrying the game. It's not the content carrying the game at the moment. It is literally ads and subscription fees that are carrying the game at the moment. It's not the content, meaning, like, you're not even buying the pass because the pass is giving you some explosive new monster. You're buying the pass because it's an upkeep. If you don't buy the pass, you won't top 5k this, or you won't make this much gold, or you won't do this, or you won't be able to level this. Like, that's where I feel like that's what's going on with the game. Currently, I don't think I need to max maze collect anymore to get this monster, since I'm only 7 moves away and we got 2 days and something. On my stream earlier, we did the gauntlet. Yesterday's gauntlet, not today, I haven't done today's gauntlet, but yesterday's gauntlet was an interesting gauntlet for me. If you watch my stream, we had some brain farts, but I also deliberately was planning to spend gems in yesterday's stream no matter what. Whereas normally my goal in a gauntlet stream is to spend no gems, meaning if we spend gems, we have been defeated. Okay, it's like we said mercy when we hit the gems. We tapped out, but we still want to get our daily stardust, so we keep going. Today was not the same story. Today has a node yesterday, when I say today. Yesterday has a node on it that is extremely crazy for free to play. It has a 40k Ilion, a 22k Froma, and a 26.1k Muchi on it. And that node was pretty much unimaginably beatable with one team in my mind until today, or yesterday, however you want to look at it. But I felt that we were spending training gems, meaning I had one goal, and that was to get to the last node, the one that I couldn't beat, with all of the monsters, with every monster that I normally use in the gauntlet, and with baits, and with basically all the tools that I normally have to work with in a given gauntlet day. I needed them all so that I could construct a way to beat that node without it being luck, without it being dice roll, like actually have an answer for that node. And we did. I was successful at that. And now I know on that day what is important to me, what I can't lose, what I need to use on that node, so what I need to hang on to, like monsters that I can't let die. I've got to prioritize keeping them alive because I'm going to need them on 56 in order to beat the gauntlet without losing any gems. I accomplished that, but it cost me 30 gems today. So starting tomorrow or today, technically, when I wake up and we do the gauntlet stream, I will be trying to start the gem-free streak over again. I think the longest we got to was like 11 days in a row without using any gems. And normally, Froma was the hardest set of nodes. But Froma didn't have 26k Moochies. They either had metal beats or Armel, whereas they weren't that fast. You could triple Uriel bait something, you could pull something off to get you through there. When I say bait, I just mean like if you're going to use bomb, you don't want to get per extra turn, so you would bait first to bring Ilion's stamina down. So that's what was going on there. This season in PvP, I have made the decision to try and go ahead and check off one more goal on my list, which is to top 100. If you've been following my channel, you know that I basically play with gauntlet monsters for the longest time. Like, that's where all my investment is in the gauntlet monsters. Well, I've been playing with this PvP team basically since I got Vampira in PvP. But when I step away from PvP, sometimes you will find that I don't even, like, when I took, example would be like Air Duels. When I took all the runes off Vampira for Air Duels, I just use my gauntlet team. I just have Bombetta, Kodama, Tobora, and I leave it on defense. And then when I get it, like, have to do my maze or have to do whatever, I would just attack with it and then put it back on defense. But before that, and any time where I try PvP or I do friendlies on Sundays, this is the team that I've been using. The one thing that was holding the team back was the rank on my Vampira. Vampira just was not fast enough to get over a lot of the teams that I was losing to. Well, I went ahead and got frustrated, and I ranked my Vampira all the way, which, come to find out, was a smart idea because Vampira helps me solve that 26.1k Moochie node, because with the Rune Guardian on and with Vampira wearing all 10s and then a 3-team speed monster, Vampira is faster than 26.1k Moochie, and you don't have to sacrifice team speed on your second monster. So I am able to beat that node through basically just well-placed pers, well-placed total blinds, and we can play it out without the speed boost, etc. But in PvP, the thing that's hemming me up at the moment is that defense team, which I told you guys like a month ago I was finally going to make it. It just took us a long time to get the Nabuki or whatever, and it took me a long time to get Targon. Alright, well, I am not going to bullshit you here. I am completely noob at top 100 PvP. I don't know much at all about how to manage being in top 100, okay? So my problem when constructing a plan to get me top 100 was the only thing that I felt really hem me up isn't the ability to beat my opponents. It's that I get attacked because my defense sucks while attacking, and it's like I get one attack in and then I get attacked. And then I lose as many trophies as I win, so I was like, dude, all I need is a defense that can stall my opponent long enough for me to do 2 attacks. That way, if I do 2 attacks and then I get attacked once, I come up in trophies. That was a genius idea, and it worked perfect until I made it into like top 50. And then it didn't work anymore because I get like 4 trophies a win times like 5 win is only 20 trophies, and then you get attacked once and you lose like 25 trophies, and you're like, damn, I just spent the last 10 minutes going backwards. So I can testify that it's a good idea, but what I'm figuring, since I'm high enough up in the PvP currently, is that I'll keep pushing while it's not end of season. And my goal will be hopefully that if I can get somewhere up in the top 10, or not top 10, I mean top 20, about 10 higher than where I'm at. I'm in 26. If I can get to about 16th place by 2 days or a day and a half left in the season, basically whatever, the Rune Guardian's 2 days, so if we can get there by 2 days, I think that then I can just back off of PvP and only do attacks when my shields are down. Naturally, meaning like, hey, the game, your shield wore out, so you have to attack, start attacking. As soon as the shield goes back up, stop attacking. I think I can ride out a top 100 finish. So my only goal is really to make top 100. My real goal was to make top 100 in less than a year and a half. All right, so we're definitely not at a year and a half. If I can get the top 100 now, I can check one other thing off. I'm pretty confident that my team's going to do well because, I mean, we got Zaid, who basically down to the wire used my exact same setup. He's been moving his runes around, but that's because if you do the gauntlet, you have to move your runes. Like, the PvP team is not set up. Like, you guys have watched my channel, I've seen it's so frustrating that you constantly every day have to like rechange your moves on Tabora before you do gauntlet. You got to rechange your moves or your runes around because they're not right. But whatever. My point is, his monsters, he has a max Kodama. I don't have a max Kodama. I don't want a max Kodama. It's doing well against the Hardys. So the fact that he can keep that team up there in top 10 gives me hope that I'm going to be able to top 100 with the team. Whereas what's hemming me up is, like I was just telling you guys about, the 4 trophy thing. I get 4 trophies and then I get attacked and all my trophies get undone. So I think at the end of the season, I'm going to get obliterated, meaning like my defense is just going to get rolled over because one of those people that I attack and get 4 trophies from is going to see that they got attacked by a super high up ranked player and they're going to be trying to finish the season, so they're going to revenge me and then they're going to steal 30 trophies from me. So that's what my fear is, but by looking at him having success with my same team, it gives me a standpoint on the fact that I'm pretty confident that it's going to work, you know, like, and I mean, I've seen one other person use it that I took screenshots of. The only thing that's annoying isn't that someone copies your team. Like, I've been used to that since playing games, period. Like, it's not going to change. Like, I used to build the metas on Dungeon Boss. Like, nobody believed me. I started making a YouTube video like, look, man, I'm making the teams. These people don't have a brain. They're just literally putting money into what I'm doing. Zaid and me basically, like, look, he just switched it back. This is what he was doing constantly before I found out he was using my team. Once he passed me in PvP this season, I was very curious how he did that with area dodge taunt because I was so confident that I had built a team way more capable of beating that AI. Meaning this team I built to beat the AI. It will get its rear end handed to it in friendlies. Those of you who show up on Sundays have beat it already, and you know this. I have ranked Vampira since then, so I could give you more of a run for my money. But it's definitely not a good team, human versus human. You're using Total Blind to basically take advantage and exploit the stupid AI until Social Point fixes it. Meaning, like, an example would be like perfect. Like Zaid's defense right now, you can beat that team with my attack team because all you have to do is per Bombetta and Total Blind Kodama, leaving the Torture on Kodama. If you went against a human, you would get your rear end kicked because they wouldn't trait disable you with Tabora. They would Nur away that Total Blind, and then they would just CDA you. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I mean. So, like, I knew something was up if he's passing me in PvP when I'm, like, top 20. And I look, and I'm like, okay, so, like, he's running... I know he's not using those monsters. What's he hiding behind there? So I asked him, I was like, bro, are you using the same team as me? And he didn't really say yeah. He just said that, like, it's a good team and those are my only 150s, which I'm kind of like Zaid was supposed to be my goalpost where, like, people are like, Zaid's the best free to play. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just, you know, I'm trying to outplay Zaid, get to where my account is better than Zaid's. Our accounts are pretty much looking like twins. Currently, I mean, I think he owns a lot of goodies, but I don't really think that he's far ahead in goodies anymore either, meaning I'm making like 220 million gold a day. I'm slowly going to level up all of my relics and my monsters and stuff to where I wouldn't trade accounts. But the point that I'm making here is people like him don't even give you a thank you when they take your ideas, and like, they even admit to you after the fact when you call them out, and they're like, yeah, it's a good team, bro. Like, well, then say thank you sometime, or say, like, bro, I'm using your team because it's a good idea. Like, just give somebody credit where credit's due. People come in my Discord and they talk a lot of smack. Like, they try to argue me and be like, what do you do that's different? Like, you copy people. Like, I've never copied someone on this game without saying, hey, I copied someone on this game. Meaning, like, I tell you straight up, like, look, I just watched a video of Pyro. Pyro's doing this. You guys, like, I'm going to do this next. Like straight up, like everywhere that I get information from, I try to share with you guys. So anyway, seeing that he's having success with the team, I'm pretty confident we're going to accomplish our goal. You guys are going to have to stay tuned on that and see where we're at with that goal. Now, when it comes to what am I doing in the events, I did get the quest monster today. It took me 5 breeds, like 100 gems, which is cheaper than the 350 for the chest to get the quest monster. So we can check the quest monster off. A lot of people have been asking me about reviews. I don't necessarily want to go into reviews. This season, I'm not a big fan. I don't like a lot of the monsters. I like 2. The quest monster is good. If you want to know why I think the quest monster is good, he's a better turn transfer monster than Lindworm. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying there. Lindworm is a better monster than the quest monster, meaning if I'm having to rank a monster and say which one of these 2 monsters is better, Lindworm is better, okay? Now, if I had to say which one is better at turn transferring, I would say the quest monster is. So if you're one of those people who's running Lindworm to turn transfer, a perfect example is like you're running Lindworm with Fasla and Shelly, or you're running Lindworm with a Legend and you're turn transferring to Madame and bringing them down, or you're running Lindworm with Pumpseed. You know what I mean when I say a turn transfer team. Meaning the main thing you're using Lindworm for is turn transferring, and the main thing you don't like to see is anticipation. All right, if you're in that boat, this quest monster is better at that job than Lindworm is. Now, if you're someone who is just trying to out-tempo your opponent, meaning, hey, I can snag a free turn here because it's available, Lindworm is a totally better monster. He's got the ability to deny, he's got the ability to baby, he's got the ability to CDA. This quest monster just has the ability to purr and turn transfer, really. Like, everything else is kind of mediocre. So, he's a good monster. That's my take on him. The other monster that I think is really good so far is the PvP monster. I think that, hands down, this is the best PvP monster to come out in the PvP monsters so far. Now, when I say that, I get a lot of crap about people think Aerobat is better. Alright, well, I think Aerobat's the second best, but I don't think he's better. I do think that, like, in my own PvP team, I could probably run an Aerobat and do better than I can with Kodama. But I have invested in Kodama because Kodama is good in the Gauntlet with Tabora better than Aerobat is with Tabora because their tortures don't stack together. Like, they don't deny for as many turns. But I get that Aerobat is faster. I get that Aerobat has the ability to screw the AI up with that total blind. Meaning, like, if you total blind a monster, it's going to charge. The AI is stupid. So I get that you can easily run Aerobat and do well in PvP. But this PvP monster doesn't CDA people, folks. It hard denies them. It has true vision, but only as an SC. It wears an essence. You can Uriel essence. People are starting to see you can Moon Haze essence. I mean, the list of things you can do with the monster is pretty daggone high. But one thing it can do is take away your opponent's turn. Whereas CDA doesn't take away your opponent's turn, it just reduces your opponent's turn to basically a weaker turn. But it's not the same thing as taking it away. As long as they run 0 cooldown moves and they run mutant runes, they're going to take extra turns and they're going to do something with them. Okay, I've been watching Hardy kill my Kodamas in one hit with 0 cooldown moves for the whole week. Like, so I know that you guys at first glance don't think it's that good. Its traits are phenomenal, guys. In PvP right now, I'm telling you, I'm sitting in the top 100, and I'm telling you right now, the monsters that are taking over the top of 100 right now, even though PvP doesn't matter, there's no rewards in it. You either get first or you get the same crap as the guy in 1000th place. Alright, Shelly, Hardy, and Vampira are everywhere. They're not all on the same team, but they're everywhere. Trying to get a match where there's no Hardy, no Shelly, or no Vampira is almost impossible. It is super, super rare. Of course they're out there. Area Dodge Taunt doesn't have it. Of course they're out there. It's just very, very, very rare, okay? Now, in that category of monsters, that Abomination trait is phenomenal, guys. It stops a lot of what's going on in PvP. it's a good monster in the gauntlet, okay? Like, it's not as good as Blackfeather because it doesn't have an endless ability to total blind monsters, and total blind stops you from being your face alted off, so you can just total blind a guy who doesn't have any stamina, and you don't have to worry about your face getting alted off. Okay, you can't do that. But if you don't own Blackfeather, it's the best replacement to Blackfeather. I was currently thinking about ranking up my Vipaparu so that we could go risk-free in the first 40, node 40 through 50 and not risk alts. I'm currently second-guessing that because I wasn't expecting this PvP monster. This PvP monster is so good that he might be able to do the exact same thing as Vipaparu, but the difference is Vipaparu is not that good in PvP in my mind, whereas I could just use this PvP monster as both. It's got me starting to think that the PvP monster is maybe worth ranking instead of Vipaparu. So I might be going back on what I told all of you guys of ranking Vipaparu to do node 40 through 50. I might be ranking the PvP monster to do node 40 through 50, and then we just switch to Blackfeather when we switch to the Uriel team. You'll have to stay tuned and find out on that. Getting carried away on how long this video is going, but yeah, so basically the main new things that are going is we're trying to accomplish our goal this week. We got 6 days to do it. We're going to try and top PvP. I will stream it. In the end, I'll stream it when we finish like I used to do back when PvP mattered. Again, I'm well aware that PvP doesn't matter, and I'm not trying to brag and say like, oh, yo, we're doing so good in PvP and we're about to get some crazy rewards that we're not getting. What I'm telling you is I'm just trying to check one more goal off of my list of Monster Legend goals. Another goal that I'm working towards, if you see, is that I'm level 107 now. I plan to try and get to 150. We're making a lot more gold, so we're farming a lot more food, and I think that basically food farming is how we're going to go from 107 to 150, and I don't think it's going to take but a couple of months. So if I can get to 150 before a year and a half, I will be pretty content with that, and I'll be happy. I think that's a good accomplishment. I don't see any other free-to-plays that high. I know people like to debate, like, you're not the best free-to-play. At this point, I'm running out of caring, meaning, like, I don't even know what hoop I'm supposed to jump through to prove otherwise. I'm running out of, like, where are these people then that I'm supposed to be trying to be better than? How do I prove that I'm better than them? Like, I've had many players try to tell me, like, you're so dumb, you make so many misplays on camera, you play horribly, you're awful, blah, 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 blah. It's like, go ahead and turn the camera on. Go ahead and see how well you play. You find me a player who doesn't make misplays and plays all perfect, and I'll show you somebody who knows how to edit, because there's just so much dumb stuff that happens in the game that, like, there's a time when you play good and there's a time when you play bad. And yeah, it's basically like in the beginning when I started out, I couldn't do the gauntlet on stream either, and now I can. Like, all these other gauntlet streams I watch are just people playing music or people not even having sound in the background. Like, who's talking you through their thought process while completing the gauntlet, man? Like, where is this content? I'm kind of feel like I've been running out in the front with nobody. Like, I don't, like, there's nothing I'm looking, like, I'm not looking at Zayd's account and learning anything from it. I'm not listening to Zayd teach me anything that's helping me in the game. Okay, like, to me, he's basically just somebody who shows up once in a while and says, hey, like, he may, think that he's better than me or whatever. That's fine. I don't really care in that aspect as much as I'm wondering, like, how do you prove it in this game? Like, I thought the way that you prove that you're better would be that you battle someone, or you own something they don't have, or you do something they can't do. Like, yeah, like, I don't get it. I mean, I'm running out of ideas in that aspect, whereas I feel like the only person I'm trying to beat anymore is who I was yesterday. Meaning, like, I feel like I'm getting pretty close to what I would call the final stretch of Monster Legends, in a sense, meaning I don't know if we're going to make it to the 2-year mark of playing. I think we're probably going to move on to a different game around a year and a half. So I'm kind of hoping we can get most of the goals done in a year and a half. But mark my words, I'm not for sure on that, but I would almost bet money that I don't see us playing longer than 2 years. The replay value on this game is just not there. It's like tedious, it's boring. It was too easy to pass everybody. I I hoped it would be harder, but it seemed like the better I got, the more people just quit playing. Like, that's really what it feels like happened. Meaning, like, I hear legend stories all the time where they'll be like, no, bro, you're not the best free to play. You don't make the most free to play gold. There's people who make a bunch of gold. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, where are they? Oh, they don't play anymore. They quit the game. They don't like the game. Okay, well, I hear all these stories of people are so awesome. Expect like people tell me free to play players beat the gauntlet every day. Then I check their island and they got this for sale island up here, this ancient island. I'm like, they're not free to play, bro. And they'd be like, well, somebody bought that for them. I don't care, bro. Free to play is the account ain't never had a penny spent on it. Okay, like I get it. We do some ads and we watch videos and we do Monster Woods to get plenty of gems. Most people wouldn't call that free to play. Hell, I don't even feel free to play when we do that, guys. I feel like I just got paid gems to do work. Like, I don't want to play bingo. I'm playing bingo to get gems. That's pretty much the same thing as going to a job to me, except instead of getting a paycheck, I get gems. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the free-to-play aspect of this game. Like, I liked RuneScape better. I had more fun playing RuneScape than I had playing Monster Legends. Hands down, without a doubt, tons more fun on RuneScape. RuneScape has got tons of things that I can do that I can't do on Monster Legends, okay? Like, for one, I could fight you for your whole bank on RuneScape. I could say, all right, man, I'm tired of talking about who's better. Everything you own versus everything I own, let's go. Like, and then you beat them and you take everything they own and you just come up. You just gain so much. You can't do anything even close to that on here. We can't gamble monsters. I can't battle you for a monster. I mean, at best case, we could do a Trust Annie where I could say, like, look, man, I beat you. You delete your Graken. You sell your Graken. If you beat me, I'll sell my Graken. Like, you could do something like that, but you can't, like, what if the person loses and they're like, oh, I'm not selling my Graken. Screw you. Like, exactly. You can't, like, there's no real way to interact with other players in this game long term. I mean, it's really like it's not that fun. Like, it's fun in the beginning, man. It's a new player's game. This is a game that's fun when you first start out and it gets old real quick. I stuck around so that we could accomplish our goals. We could pass everybody. I'm gonna keep playing until we come over the hunch where there's no more argument of who the best free to play is. Meaning, when someone says that Lost Jumper is not the best free-to-play, I expect strangers to debate and not be able to lose that argument. And when we achieve that, we're out of here pretty much. Like, we've accomplished our goal, it's done. Meaning that, like, hands down, Lost Jumper is the best free-to-play. So what am I going to do? Am I going to play the game forever? No, we're going to leave. Like, we accomplished our goal. Like, we're not going to sit here and play Monster Legends forever. We are going to go to another game, and we're going to start out and go through the exact same thing. There's going to be players in whatever other game we play that are going to swear they're the best free to play. And we're going to spend year or months or however long trying to pass them. And I hope those of you who join my channel for Monster Legends will continue to go along on the channel as we go. If not, screw you guys, I don't care. We'll pick up some more fans from the other game. But that is what's going on my channel. So I just want you guys to know that we are reaching the final stretch. I don't feel much of a challenge anymore in the game. I don't know what my goalposts are other than to just grow. Meaning I'm basically just growing into a better Lost Jumper than I was yesterday. I own more stuff than I owned yesterday. I'm constantly getting, more and more things and just growing and becoming better and better and better. And yeah, so what am I going to do that for infinity? No, man. I'm going to do that till I don't see any other reason to play and we're just going to leave. So I'm still trying to get all the monsters from the Cosmic books. We are working on the newest books. I watched ads during a race. I got the Pass Monster. I tried the Cosmic Dungeon. It's all on stream. We got beat up. I got beat by a Harden, basically. I got beat by being stupid, whichever way you like to say it better. So anyway, if you look, we've got rank 2 this page, we got rank 2 this page, we got rank 2 that page, and we are currently going to rank 2 this page. So that's what's going on. I have the Katsuko, he's just not hatched. We're going to get the Yalrika. The Calamedic is in the tails, so that's coming, and then you have I think one more Maze Monster and maybe the Frat Monster? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what 2 are left. I would know if I'd stop and think about it, but either way, we're going to go rank 2 the page. I think that's basically what we play for. We're going to take the runes. We're going to try to make some mutants. We're going to try to keep increasing our count. It would be nice to have a full mutant set to where we're wearing 9 mutants on a team. As a free-to-play, I think that would be pretty OP. I think we're at about 30 level 10s. I made like 6 more this month, and I'm going to get the 10 from the race. And like I said, we're going to look to do one task or two. I'm going to task grind big time and race prep all month. That's basically what's going on this channel. Tomorrow I will make a video to catch you guys up on era duels. There was some drama to it, but not in the actual era duels. The drama basically was like aftermath of the era duels. But yeah, I mean, I'll get into that when I go over the era duels, and I'll talk about basically I try to sum up my interpretation of how my experience was in the air duels. And yeah, I mean, some of it was just already figuring what I expected, and then some of it was completely mind-blowing to me. And yeah, so stay tuned for what we got going on there. And tonight, after this video, I'm planning to do a random stream, guys. We're probably going to do the Nemesis Survival Dungeon in the stream. I'm probably just going to do some Q&As. I'm just going to hang out on stream tonight. And it's going to be the first time I've basically streamed without purpose, meaning who knows what we do on Monster Legends tonight on the stream. I'm just throwing it out there that if anything, I'll probably end up doing the Nemesis dungeon, but it's going to be my first. It's just a free-for-all stream, meaning it's going to be a come and chill, guys. So if you see this video, know that this video is for the people who don't really watch the streams, but it's just to give you guys an idea of what's going on. I will be trying to get top 5k gold this event when the gold fever comes around. I finally have got all the Hyperias out of my vault, guys. I'm not making it up, I promise. We have got 93 Hyperias out on our habitats, all level 50 plus. This is what we're left with. I did get a rank 3 pumpkin. I just haven't fed my eggs and extracted it yet. I did get a rank 3 Sammy Fever Scatter, so I basically have rank 3 of the 2 worst Sammys. Only one left to go. I did that through El Colossal. This El Colossal that is coming is supposed to be Metal and Thunder. My #1 priority in that El Colossal is going to be breeding a whole island of Avas. I'd like to get about 40 Avas bred. Breeding the Avas will unlock Blaz, the mythic, for me, so that'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The only other metal monster that I got on my radar besides them, besides the Avas, is Santa. I would like to get enough Santas I need 1 more Santa to rank 2 my Santa, and then I would like to get a level 4 Santa. So that's my goals in the Santa department. I have no intentions of rank 5ing my Santa. You can go back and check my really old video about Santa where I tried to say that a rank 2 Santa is better than a rank 5 Santa. And I believe it even more in this cosmic era when basically your Santa is going to get messed up either way. So being able to put buffs on them like Evade is pretty crazy. So I want to get that going on. And then in the electric side, the only thing I really want to do with electric is breed some wild birds maybe, and then breeds. I would love to get a Max Thundir for about 1,400 gems. I think that would be really cool. Aside from, I think Max Thundir is the best legend in the game. Like, I don't think there's a better legend in the game than Max Thundir. Wild Bird's up there considering he's a Pierce Deny monster, which is something that is extremely rare. As you've seen, they had released a leak about Aatrox would have been a Pierce Denier, but they came back on that. That just kind of shows you how OP Pierce Deny would be, and that's what Thundir is capable, or not Thundir, that's what Wildbird is capable of. So yeah, aside from Thundir, though, I don't really have much going on in the electric. So that's where I'm at with the El Colossal that's coming up. I am going to try to get as many Thunder and Metal monsters as I can, so that way I'm not out of the combo. The only monsters that I would buy the combo for would be the Ava, I think. I think if I have to buy the Thundir combo, I might just sit it out, guys. I think that there's kind of no way to not beat the Thundir opponent other than, you know, just run your own turn transfer team and be faster than them. That should work, but he'd also be so good in Grandmaster duels. That's the next thing that's coming up. Since there's hardly anybody playing the game, the Grandmaster duels that are currently going on, basically last week I seen that all you had to do was win 1. All right, this week it might be a little different because everybody else might have seen what I seen, which was all you had to do was win 1. If you only have to spend 30 gems to get a level 9, that's a good deal. If you're not good enough to where you actually got to buy like 3 chances before you finally win 1, Then you're looking at what, 90 gems for a level 9, which I think is basically breaking it even, since I spend 325 on a 10, but I only do that once a month. Because, I mean, if 10s were always available for 325, I probably wouldn't buy them. But since they only come around once a month, I go ahead and try to get it. But I would like to build a team that I can at least get the one win with, and I would like to build my own team. I'd like to use something different that we don't see in, the meta teams. I'd like to keep people on their toes. I like to represent that I'm Lost Jumper and not, just another casual player doing the same shit everybody else does. I have unlocked the Froma. I have unlocked Armel. I have unlocked a lot of the monsters that are in here, mythic-wise. Yeah, so the monsters that I'm missing, the only one I wish I had that I don't have is Cat UFO, but I've got a lot of ideas. Like, now that we have Max Graycon, which I finally got during this race, he's on my radar. Zenfire, I have a rank 5 of, is on my radar. This Lamia is definitely on my radar. I have a rank 2 Corruptus, which is on my radar, but since he's not rank 2, he's not really that good. Rag's only rank 1, but he's still so OP. My Froma's not ranked. My Armel's not ranked. I have 9k Dust. I've been saving that for Blaz, though. If I can get Blaz from the El Colossal, I'm going to rank 5 him. I've been waiting to do it for a long time. That's how I got all this Amber. So if we look... Yeah, I'm looking at 9,100 Amber. I would like to rank 3 my Armor Claw, but I don't want to crack under 9k Amber. So once we get above like 1,000 Amber, we can start deciding what else we want to do with that Amber. But currently, I'd like to drop 9k just on Blaz. I would like to get me a rank 5 Blaz. People have said, why is Blaz so good? What do you like about Blaz? You don't even own Diagonal. He's only good with that. Listen to me. Blaz is a support monster, okay, and he is not bad. He gives AoE, CD, immunity. He has the ability to double purr. He has the ability to nerf. He has the ability to set up skill mirror. He is a good monster. He is the best mythic, in my opinion. Why? Because you don't need a mythic attacker. You don't need a mythic denier. Cosmics are better, but when it comes to support, you just need a support. Blaz is doing things that are good. He's, like I just said, he can double purr, he can nerf, he can have skill mirror, he's got a cooldown immunities. He opens up a lot of options, man. Like, I would love to have one. I'd love to rank 5 one. Yes, I'd love to get my hands on that. So that's what we're hoping for. I did get Laser Beam. My Laser Beam is ranked up. I'm not a fan of Laser Beam. Laser Beam's like Heist 2.0, and I don't use either of them. So when the Black Friday deal comes, I plan to mutate some runes. I plan to move some runes. I plan to unlock some monsters. I plan to strip off the ones that I put on monsters that I don't like Laser Beam. I'm taking his runes back. That boy can get 7s. I don't care. Yeah, so look towards that, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be back to making the daily videos, and hopefully tomorrow's video will not be so off the wall and me just running my mouth. Hopefully we can get some more constructive video footage on what we're doing, and I can explain, the era duel, since it's coming back again, and we're going to have to... I will basically be able to share with you what I learned and how I can take my last month's era duel experience and grow from it, and what can I do to apply it to my new area duels that are coming up to give me a better chance at doing better than I did last time. So anyway, guys, thanks to everyone who's been watching the channel. We have been making subs. Thanks for tuning in, and I will do my best to share knowledge with you guys that are subbing, so that hopefully you come to the right place and you get the information that you need on time. As you can see, I can now post community posts, so I don't have to make super short videos with 10 seconds of information I can post. I will work on some other posts like polls in the future, but for right now, I think it's good to just get back in a groove of making a daily video. So thanks to all you all who watch my daily videos, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.